To locate the most current Internal Revenue Code regulations, begin by visiting the Internal Revenue Service website. The IRS website provides access to the IRS code in portable document format or PDF format. Additionally, the IRS regulations, specifically Title 26 of the Code of Federal Regulations, or CFR, can be accessed through legal research websites. For specific regulations pertaining to the current tax year, consult the relevant section of Title 26 CFR. As of April 1, 2023, the regulations can be found in 26 CFR Parts 1 through 300. For regulations from the previous year, specifically 2022, refer to 26 CFR Parts 1 through 300, revised as of April 1, 2022. Several other resources provide access to the Internal Revenue Code and regulations. Westlaw Legal Research offers a platform to access the Internal Revenue Code and regulations. LexisNexis Legal Research provides access to the Internal Revenue Code, specifically 26 United States Code. CCHI No Federal Tax Research also provides access to the Internal Revenue Code and regulations. It's important to be aware that tax regulations are subject to frequent changes. Therefore, always consult the most current version of the relevant regulations to ensure you have accurate information. Keeping informed about these resources and updates is crucial for anyone dealing with tax matters. The IRS website is the primary source for official publications and updates. Legal research platforms like Westlaw, LexisNexis, and CCHI No offer comprehensive access to tax laws and regulations, along with annotations and analysis. When searching for specific regulations, pay close attention to the revision dates. Tax laws and regulations are constantly evolving, and using outdated information can lead to errors. To navigate the IRS website effectively, use the search function to locate specific topics or forms. The IRS provides numerous publications and guides to help taxpayers understand their obligations. Legal research platforms offer advanced search capabilities and filtering options to narrow down your results. You can search by code section, regulation number, keyword, or citation. When using these platforms, familiarize yourself with the different search operators and filters to optimize your search strategy. For example, you can use Boolean operators like and, or, and not to refine your search. You can also use wildcards to search for variations of a word or phrase. To verify the accuracy of any tax information, cross-reference it with multiple sources. Don't rely solely on one website or publication. Consult the official IRS guidance, legal research platforms, and professional tax advisors to ensure you have a complete and accurate understanding of the law. Stay informed about tax law changes by subscribing to IRS alerts and newsletters. The IRS provides email updates on new tax laws, regulations, and other important information. You can also follow tax professionals and organizations on social media to stay abreast of the latest development. Remember that tax laws can be complex, and it's always best to seek professional advice when dealing with complicated tax situations. A qualified tax advisor can help you understand your obligations, navigate the tax laws, and minimize your tax liability. Keep accurate records of all your financial transactions. This will make it easier to prepare your tax return and support any claims you make. The IRS requires taxpayers to keep records for at least 3 years from the date they filed their original return or 2 years from the date they paid the tax, whichever is later. Be aware of tax scams and fraud. The IRS will never contact you by email or phone to demand immediate payment or threaten you with arrest. If you receive a suspicious communication from someone claiming to be from the IRS, report it to the IRS. Take advantage of available tax credits and deductions. The tax laws provide numerous credits and deductions that can reduce your tax liability. Be sure to claim all the credits and deductions you are entitled to. File your tax return on time. The deadline for filing your individual income tax return is April 15th, unless you request an extension. If you fail to file on time, you may be subject to penalties. Pay your taxes on time. If you cannot afford to pay your taxes in full, contact the IRS to discuss payment options. The IRS may be able to offer you a payment plan or other relief. Understand your rights as a taxpayer. You have the right to be treated fairly and professionally by the IRS. You also have the right to appeal an IRS decision if you disagree with it. Educate yourself about tax laws and regulations. The more you know about taxes, the better equipped you will be to manage your tax obligations and avoid problems with the IRS. By following these tips, you can stay informed about tax laws, avoid errors, and minimize your tax liability. Remember to consult with a qualified tax advisor for personalized advice tailored to your specific situation. The Internal Revenue Code, often abbreviated as IRC, is the foundation of federal tax law in the United States. It is a comprehensive set of laws that governs how taxes are levied and collected. Understanding the IRC is essential for anyone involved in tax preparation, financial planning, or business management. The IRC is constantly evolving, with new laws and regulations being added or amended on a regular basis. It is important to stay up to date on these changes to ensure compliance and avoid penalties. The IRC is organized into titles, subtitles, chapters, and sections. Each section of the IRC addresses a specific aspect of tax law. To find information on a particular topic, you can search the IRC by keyword, code section, or subject matter. The IRS publishes numerous publications and guides that explain the IRC in plain English. These resources can be helpful for understanding complex tax laws. Legal research platforms like Westlaw, LexisNexis, and CCHI now provide access to the IRC and related regulations, along with annotations and analysis. These platforms can be valuable tools for tax professionals and others who need to conduct in-depth tax research. The Code of Federal Regulations, or CFR, contains the rules and regulations issued by federal agencies, including the IRS. Title 26 of the CFR contains the IRS regulations, which interpret and implement the IRC. The IRS regulations provide detailed guidance on how to comply with the tax laws. They cover a wide range of topics, including income tax, estate tax, gift tax, and excise tax. The IRS regulations are organized by code section, corresponding to the sections of the IRC. To find the regulations for a particular code section, you can search the CFR by code section number. The IRS regulations are constantly being updated to reflect changes in the tax laws. It is important to stay up to date on these changes to ensure compliance. The IRS publishes notices and announcements that provide guidance on new regulations and other tax law changes. Legal research platforms like Westlaw, LexisNexis, and CCHI now provide access to the CFR and related IRS guidance. These platforms can be valuable tools for tax professionals and others who need to conduct in-depth tax research. When researching tax issues, it is important to consult both the IRC and the IRS regulations. The IRC provides the statutory framework for the tax laws, while the IRS regulations provide detailed guidance on how to comply with those laws. By consulting both sources, you can gain a comprehensive understanding of the tax laws and ensure that you are complying with all applicable requirements. In addition to the IRC and the IRS regulations, there are other sources of tax law that you may need to consult, depending on the specific issue you are researching. These sources include court decisions, IRS rulings, and IRS procedures. Court decisions interpret the IRC and the IRS regulations. They can provide valuable guidance on how the tax laws apply in specific situations. IRS rulings are official interpretations of the tax laws issued by the IRS. They provide guidance on how the IRS will treat certain transactions or situations. IRS procedures are internal guidelines that the IRS uses to administer the tax laws. They provide guidance on how the IRS will process tax returns, conduct audits, and collect taxes. When researching tax issues, it is important to consider all relevant sources of tax law. By consulting the IRC, the IRS regulations, court decisions, IRS rulings, and IRS procedures, you can gain a comprehensive understanding of the tax laws and ensure that you are complying with all applicable requirements. Keeping abreast of changes to the Internal Revenue Code and associated regulations can seem daunting, but it is absolutely crucial for ensuring tax compliance. Firstly, understand that the IRC is the primary source of federal tax law. It's not just a set of rules, it's a complex legal framework that dictates how taxes are levied and collected. Secondly, the IRS regulations found in Title 26 of the CFR provide detailed interpretations and implementations of the IRC. These regulations are your go-to resource for understanding the specifics of how tax laws should be applied. One effective approach is to regularly visit the IRS website. It's the official source for IRS publications, forms, and announcements. The IRS also offers email subscriptions and social media updates, which can help you stay informed about changes in tax law. Legal research platforms like Westlaw, LexisNexis, and CCHI now provide access to the IRC, CFR, court decisions, and IRS rulings. These platforms offer sophisticated search tools and analytical resources that can save you time and effort. It is also crucial to pay attention to the revision dates of regulations and other tax documents. Tax laws and regulations are constantly being updated, and using outdated information can lead to errors and penalties. Attending tax seminars, webinars, and workshops can also be beneficial. These events provide opportunities to learn from tax experts and network with other professionals. Keep in mind the importance of understanding your rights as a taxpayer. You have the right to be treated fairly by the IRS, the right to appeal decisions, and the right to seek professional advice. Remember to consult with qualified tax professionals. Tax laws can be complex, and seeking guidance from a CPA or tax attorney can help you navigate the system effectively. Staying informed about tax law changes requires a multifaceted approach that includes regular monitoring of official sources, utilizing legal research tools, and seeking professional guidance. By taking these steps, you can ensure that you are complying with the latest tax laws and regulations.